In this video, we are going to talk about word problems. We are specifically going to talk about word problems when we're given words and we need to translate those words into algebraic expressions or equations. So here's a little sense of what I mean. If something says 3 times a number, I want to translate that into an expression that involves numbers and variables. And there's some clues here that help me figure out how I can do that. Well, 3 times a number, times means multiplication, and I know I'm multiplying the number 3 by a number. Well, the idea that it says a number and it hasn't indicated what the number is tells us that we're going to want to use a variable. I'm going to use x as my variable, so I'm going to say 3x. That is your answer. I have translated those words into an expression. I could write the multiplication symbol here if I wanted to, but I don't need to. For the next one, it says 7 more than. More than implies addition, and I'm going to add the number 7 to something. That something is indicated over here. I have the number half, and I'm going to take half of a number. Again, that number is not known, so we're going to use the variable x, and then I'm adding 7 to it at the end. So I have half of a number, and I have 7 more than half that number. And lastly, less than here implies subtraction. We are, in fact, subtracting 8 from twice of a number. Twice implies times 2. And again, my unknown number can be indicated with x. So I'm going to say 2x because I'm saying twice of a number. And then 8 less than that means I'm going to subtract 8 from the end. So just to give you a little bit of a summary, I would suggest pausing the video and reading through this list. I find it really helpful to find and understand which words are associated with operation and what's associated with exponents versus parentheses. So pause the video here, give this slide a read through, and then come back. All right, you're back. Hopefully some of this felt familiar, and we're going to put it to the test. So we have 5 less than a number is 12. What's different here is that we have the word is. On that first slide, we didn't have the word is. Indicates an equal sign. So this here is going to be an equation. So let's look at our clues here. An equation, I have 5 less than a number. So I'm going to take 5 away from a number, which is going to be x, and equals is 12. So my equation is x minus 5 equals 12. But it's also asking me for what is the original number. Now that I have this equation, I can go solve, and I can find out that the number is in fact 17. Okay, so this one says 3 more than double a number is 21. Again, we have this is, which indicates we have an equal sign, so we're going to have an equation. Let's look for our clues. We say more than implies we're going to add something. We're going to add 3. To double implies twice or 2 times a number, so I'm going to say 2x, double a number, and then it's equal to 21. So here's our equation. And now we're going to solve it because it wants to know what's the original number. So I can subtract 3. And again, this is once you've written your equation here, once you've translated the words to the equation, you're back to what you know how to do. I divide by 2. And so my original number I know is x equals 9. All right, I want you to try this one on your own. Pause the video and then come back. All right, you're back. So again, we have is, so I know I'm going to have an equal sign and equation. I look for my clues. Less than tells me I'm going to subtract. I'm subtracting the number 4 from half of a number. So half of a number can be written as 1/2 x. And then I'm saying this whole thing is 9. So here's my equation. Now you're back to what you know how to do. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I have 1/2 x equals 13. And the way that I can get rid of that 1/2 is to multiply by 2. So my original number is 26. All right, one more tricky one. Try this one on your own and then come back. All right, you're back. So this one is a little trickier because we have some more clues than we're used to. Again, we have is, so we're looking for an equal sign. We're going to have an equation. So it says triple. So triple means I'm multiplying something by 3. But the new thing that we have here is the sum of. And the sum of is going to indicate parentheses. Remember that slide that I showed you of the words. So I'm going to have triple something. Well, the next words tell me what that something is. The sum tells me I'm going to have addition, and it says 6 and a number. So I'm going to say 6 and a number is going to be indicated by X. Now, just so you know, we could write this the other way and write the X first, but remember the commutative property says that the order doesn't matter. All right, and now I know that I'm going to say, let's see, equals 12 because it says is 12. So here's my equation, and now I need to go solve it. So I can do the distributive property. I'm going to subtract 18, and I'm at 3x equals -6, which tells me that x is going to equal -2. So hopefully this makes sense. You're going to go do a few practice problems on your own. And again, I would suggest that you continue to reference that slide that had all the words and the key clues that you're going to look for as you're doing this. Good luck.